And welcome back to the Emmy Award-winning Forbes Sports Money, as we're joined in studio by media guru Chris Bevilacqua for our State of Sports discussion, brought to you by SAP. And Chris, let's start with a hidden gem that you've found in sports. What is it?
Well, in short, it's a WWE, and last time they did their television arrangement about 7 or 8 years ago, the marketplace wasn't what it was today, and they now have gone through 7 or 8 years of fantastic ratings on both USA Network and Sci-Fi, the two top programs on both of those networks, and they've got all their rights synced now to expire at the end of the year, and they can take them all into the marketplace in what is really the hottest marketplace in some time.
Is it going to have to be a big sales pitch by WWE, or is it basically sell itself?
Listen, they have a great audience. Their currency is their audience, right? They've got about 350 gross rating points when you look at those two franchises on two fully distributed cable networks with a great demographic that follows it. They're a passionate fan base, a lot of young males. And so they're able to walk into the market with, a size and scope of programming that you really don't find anymore these days.
Now, you mentioned gross ratings points. Just kind of explain that. Can you draw a comparison maybe to another property?
Yeah, it measures viewership, right? So household ratings. And so if you think about, for example, a recent deal that was done was NASCAR on NBC, right, which was well publicized, 10-year deal, $4.5 billion over 10 years. And they have, for their races, they average plus or minus 100 rating points. That measures viewership. And so you're looking at a property here that is, in terms of gross rating points, is almost triple the size of that.
So if we're looking at this in basic terms and comparing it to the other sports leagues, really the only sports property that's bigger in terms of viewership is the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the NFL is the king of the hill. I mean, the NBA will stake a claim because they have great national distribution. They may have more games on, more live games on across the Turner networks and ESPN, but they're right up there. There's no question WWE is right up there.
Okay, I mean, none of us are stock experts, but I'm thinking, WWE is publicly traded. The stock hasn't done that well lately, but their current broadcast rights fees are $140 million. That was for last year. What are we talking about for the next contract? Could it go to $350 million annually?
Well, if you just looked at quantitative data versus some of the other transactions that were done recently, I named NASCAR, the NHL did a nice deal a couple years ago. You've seen all these college football deals. If you sort of measured it against that, you're looking at 4, 5, 6 times just on a quantitative basis.
How much of the WWE beyond just TV is tied to their interest in social media? Being on the internet, that kind of thing. They seem to be pretty savvy in that arena.
No, they're very savvy in that arena. I think they're among the most tweeted subjects on Twitter. They have some of the most trafficked Facebook pages. They've got John Cena, I think, is the number 7 most highly viewed athlete on Facebook. So they got a really digital savvy audience, and so I think you'll see a lot of, I think they'll do a lot in social media and digital distribution, even beyond just licensing Raw and SmackDown.
I think one thing that may also help the WWE in their negotiations is, they could start their own sports network. And also now you have interest by Netflix for more sports programming and Google for possibly doing something with sports programming. And I think that will help. Even if they don't go that way, the WWE might be able to use that as a negotiating tactic.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, they've been very public about wanting to start a network. So my sense is they will certainly pursue that. And there's a lot of ways to go. There's a lot of different buyers for that type of content. And it's great to be the owner of live intellectual property rights. I'm
going to get on with Bob and do my SmackDown. Get ready. This is very bullish for the company and maybe the stock, too.